This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Hey, Richard, it's Doreen. How are you?
Good. So
Good.
let's take a look at your video.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you look at that video, that guy's really pulling on that thing pretty sternly. I mean, he's really giving it a severe talking to. So, you know what happens when you put your key like in the cylinder to go into your house? You put it in and you turn it.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really, really study what this gentleman is doing, how does that key? What's the orientation of that key?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I was only sent the video, so I don't really have the details of these questions.
Yeah, but you're going to be charged with explaining it. So when you're looking at the guy's hand.
Yeah, looking at his hand.
Yeah. So the position of the key, does that appear to be in the proper position? It's not. So the guy's got the key turned 90 degrees to the right or to the left. The bottom line is, no matter how hard you pull on it, it will never come out.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? It will never come out being at 90 degrees?
It'll never come out like that. You know how, I mean, you get home, you put your key in the door, right?
Yeah, you have to put it in straight and turn.
And then to pull your key out, you put it straight.
You have to turn it back, right?
Yeah. So that's what they're doing wrong. That key will never come out like that.
Oh, because they're putting in it and turning it?
Yeah, and then trying to pull the key out.
Oh, yeah, and they're not putting it back. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
got it.
So now, having said that,
yes,
there are key retaining and non-key retaining types of locks. Meaning, you can have a lock where you can take the key out when the drawer is in the locked or unlocked position. Or you can have non-key retaining where, key retaining, where the only way you can take the key out is when that thing is in the locked position.
Okay.
So it could be it's certainly a pilot error about not having that key in the right orientation, but it could also be that they don't have the right function of housing. And it would be really helpful to see the backside of that. I mean, we can tell that, the only way, so check it out. The only way for him to get that key out is when he rotates it counterclockwise, and you know what will happen then? The cam will come down, allowing the drawer to be left open. So that's inherently the problem. So I believe that it would be the problem, that it's not non-key retaining.
So it's you think it's non-key retaining?
Yeah, the question I'd ask is, hey, do you want to take that key out when it's in the locked and unlocked position, or the locked position only? And
take key out. Hold on, I'm writing all this down. Hold on. Yeah. Take the key out what?
In either the locked or unlocked position.
In either.
Now, what it tells me when I look at that video is that they simply have the timing of the tailpiece, the cam. It's not it's a cam. The cam on the back timed incorrectly. But what's weird is, for some reason, they figured 125 of them out correctly, and 5 they didn't.
No. This is only the 5 we have here.
Oh, okay.
China.
Well, you all put them together wrong.
Yeah, these are here. Yeah. What's that?
You guys are putting them together wrong, or you got a function that that's not correct for your application. So, right now, if that person in the video turned it counterclockwise, 2 things would probably happen. The key will come out, and the drawer will be left in the unlocked position.
Okay, so then you want to lock it, you put the key back in and you turn it the other way, right?
Yeah, but ideally you want to take the key with you when it's locked. So what I would suggest that they simply do is take that cam on the back and rotate it 90 degree and then retest the operation. So
take the cam and rotate it.
Yeah.
You know, I so wish that Alan was here. He's the project manager. You could probably explain it to him. You know, it's hard for me to. I mean, I didn't even see the lock, so it's hard for me to understand what we're doing. But that's okay. So I guess the first question is, yeah, if it's at 90 degrees, it's never going to turn.
Yeah,
It's
never going to come out.
Never going to come out.
What you want when the lock is completely installed is when the lock is installed and the drawer is in the closed lock position, is the key must enter vertically and that cam on the back must be vertical. Right now,
so the
they don't.
Must be vertical.
They must both be vertical.
Oh, both the cam and the key.
Key. So right now the cam is vertical. We know that because it's locked. But we can tell that his key is not vertical. So someone's got to rotate that cam 90 degree.
90 degree cam, and then try the key.
And try it again. I would say clockwise is how they need to move that.
Oh, so 90 degrees
clockwise.
Clockwise. And then try the cam. Okay.
Yeah. So let's
yeah. We'll try it.
Yeah, 90 degree clockwise.
If there's any other questions, I'm just going to have Alan call you because maybe he'll understand it better. It's his project. I just order the stuff, so.
I hear you, but I learned in kindergarten that the girls were smarter than the boys. I really did. I realized, I've got competition here in this class. These girls are sharp.
That's funny.
That's a true story. I remember feeling like.
Really? That's
I
so
do.
funny.
It is a true. I remember feeling not intimidated, but like, I got to raise my game.
Yeah,
these ladies
to have
are
a
sharp.
girl be smarter than you, right?
Oh no!
That's
Oh,
funny.
I'm surrounded by it.
That's funny.
It's a truth.
All right. Okay. All right. So I am going to try to explain this, and then hopefully they can, rotate that 90 degree clockwise, the cam, and then try the key again.
Yeah, and,
You're right.
and if you could do it in half
straight.
Italian in a disparaging sort of way to really knock their ego down, that'd be great.
Yes.
Pinch that thumb and those two fingers together and get in their face. Hey, kiss it each.
Oh, God. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it.
Okay, so
Hi.
what I'm saying is your shop is confirmed. Yeah, sure, we can lock it, but we can't pull the key out. But when we pull the key out, we leave it unlocked.
Right.
So the bottom line is the lock that you buy, you've always bought, includes all of the parts for both key retaining and non-key retaining.
Mm-hmm.
So be able to set that so that you can leave it in the lock position and also pull your key out, which is non-key retaining. And there are lots of documents that I have on this lock.
Mm-hmm.
Installation instructions.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Yeah, where are the
Perfect.
parts? Yeah, here we go.
Okay. Are you going to be able to send those to me?
Yeah. Well, yes. The answer is yes. But
okay.
And in your shop's defense, I doubt this documentation is actually included in the packaging, but it is.
Oh.
It's listed right there. So I will definitely send it to you, and it's really obvious what has to happen on this. It's really obvious. It's just a mixture of parts. You guys are good to go. We're back in business.
Okay, so it's a mix of parts. Okay, perfect. So once you send the instructions, we'll try that and we'll see if it works. Perfect.
I am going to have that sent to you in hopefully less than 3 minutes.
All right, you're the best. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for your business.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So the bottom line is the client doesn't have the cylinder set in a non-key retaining function, so I'm going to, it's May 15th, 2024. I'm going to order one of those locks, bring it in here, and the next part of this video will be me demonstrating the lock, how it works in a non-key retaining and key retaining sort of functionality. So let's move on. See you in a week or so. Okay, this is the demonstration part of how to turn this into key retaining and non-key retaining. I don't recall having ever done this, but the mystery can't be too difficult to discover. So let's do that. This is a 720 LM-DM-26D. I don't recall what all that means, but we'll look at it. So we've got some parts, we've got some tail pieces, cam, etc., etc. We've got the housing itself. A temporary core is here, and the driver is here. That's good to have. If you do work on small format at all, hang on to these. Someday you'll be grateful to have them. So what I'm going to do is, I don't really want to just do it without looking at the instructions, because it generally proves to be the exact opposite of how it's done. Okay, so we've got a really large cam here. That looks like that's going to go on the back somehow. Yeah, there are some different lobes or cam lobes on the back of here. That's certainly going to define for us function. Yeah, for sure. So these, when I stack them all on top of each other, they've got their pieces in different locations. So that's certainly what's going to govern the action on this. There's a different cam that's on the back. There is what I would call a cash box nut that will allow you to thread that into whatever you're installing it into. We'll put that on and we'll just leave it there. The different cams, and then we've got a screw for the back of the cam that we'll put onto it. So we've identified the parts. A couple of other pieces here, but I don't think they're relevant just yet. Let's switch to the screen view and let's actually look at the installation instructions just to know. Okay, so we have a 720LM-DM-26D IC, doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Now, there's a plastic thumb turn, yes. I said hang on to that. Stabilizer plate, that's included. There's a spacer. There's a short inverted cam and a long vertical cam. Then, lost motion cam shifter, which is certainly what the client ought to have installed. I don't know what that looks like just yet. There's a key retaining door cam shifter. And then there's a retaining drawer cam shifter. So, there's only one that you're going to use for lost motion. Let's take a look here. Cam assembly. Let's try that one. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, so the client didn't have this with the lock when it arrived. Obviously, it's not included, and just jumping in and trying to install it's probably going to get you into a situation where it's not going to work right. So, lost motion cam shifter. That's what we want. Non-key retaining. Lost motion means that you can insert a key, throw the bolt, bring the key back to the key pull position and pull it out and leave it locked. If you recall initially in this video, the client was turning the key clockwise 90 degree, it would lock the drawer, then try to pull the key out and couldn't pull the key out naturally because it's not in what we call the key pull position. When they brought it back to the key pull position, it unlocked the drawer. So our lost motion is going to look like this. 45 degree angle on the slot, little letter U up in the top. So it definitely looks like either of these would work, these cam shifters. Yeah, key removable in both locked and unlocked positions. Okay. And as I continue to just basically try to eliminate the items that it really can't be, if your cam has a brass pin between the two notched cutouts, use these. Ours doesn't. Ours has a brass pin on the bottom of the cam. Use these instructions. Otherwise, see box A. Okay, so I'm going to go with this. Now, there's a part that's in here that I didn't indicate earlier. It's the stop pin, and you'll note that it's referred to right here. I'm going to switch back and try to demonstrate this on camera. So let's do that.
If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a core inside of here because I don't want the driver to keep falling out, and I'm going to pull the cash box nut off. Oop, here we go. I have a best green core. That's just a temporary construction core. I've got a control key. I'm going to install that. So now nothing's going to fall out anymore. I've got an operating key, so we're in good shape. Okay, I can pull that key out. So key pull position, client had done this and then tried to pull it out. We've covered that at length. So I'm going to put this together the way that they are showing it. So there's a piece of black threaded, black oxide threaded, it's a set screw is what it is, with a little bit of thread lock on it. I'm just going to put it in a little bit. It doesn't matter what side I'm putting it on because I don't care about the hand. Got that stuck there. So if this was the real deal, I'd probably really turn that in or thread it in. It appears as if it's threaded in 3/16. I'd probably go until I had a reasonable expectation that I was threaded in as far as it would actually go. So I'm going to leave it right there. Okay. Next thing would be our cam. And we do have this cam. And that'll just go right on top, just like it's shown. But I think I'm doing it wrong. I think the first thing I got to do is put my proper cam shift driver, which there's only one that has the prep on an angle. That one. There's only one of them. So I'm just going to put that on there per the instructions, but let me take a look at it. Okay. So yeah, it does. It certainly does matter how you install this now. You've got to have. So I'm thinking it needs to look like that. I'm going to put the screw in so we can look at it a little bit better. I may need a screwdriver for this. Tighten that down. Boy, I don't like that at all. Yeah, that's. Our cam driver's not set down. Let's take a look here. Okay, so I had my one cam driver on, but had a lot of slop in the tailpiece. Turns out that the driver that's back here, it's got some play in it. Okay. There's a spacer that's included, and I didn't install it because I didn't think it would be necessary because this is a 7-pin core that I've put in. And when I pulled it out, it was like that. So there's a little bit of slop there. So I'm going to put that spacer on, and I'm going to hope that it actually works. Right there is where I put that spacer on. And if not, we'll get it to work. I'm not concerned about that. No, it's not going to go in. That spacer is only used for 6-pin, so that's not going to work. If you've got a 6-pin core, you'll use the spacer. It doesn't work with 7-pin. Let's stare at this a little bit further. Okay, core's back in. My driver's in. Again, a little bit of play here. Not ideal. Let's put the cam back on. The way it's supposed to go. And the way that the cam driver needs to go is it needs to sit inside, it needs to sit down flat on top of our driver. You can see it's all the way up, but when I tap on it and get it to fall down, okay, we need it down is what we need. Face it towards me as I put the part on. This should be a little bit more elegant. I'll get that screw on. It does move on me a little bit, which it shouldn't be. Okay, now I can use my fingers to hold the nut back so I can get that to sit down like it just did. That's got to sit flat, just like it is right now. Then from here, I've got my finger pushing up on the cylinder so I can then tighten the nut down. Which isn't giving me the desired effect. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to goof around with this. I'll tighten that up just a little bit more. Reduce some of the play that's happening. Okay, it's in as tight as it'll go. Okay. So the bottom line is that's where your lost motion, it's also called lazy motion. Both of them are industry proper terms, lost or lazy motion. The net effect on that is, yeah, this is installed incorrectly. If you refer to that screenshot, I've got this put in the wrong place. The reason I suspected it was wrong is because that just moves freely. It needs to be non-key retaining, but you can't just have that fall with gravity. If this is the unlocked position and you leave it there and a train goes by and it falls and it locks, what's really interesting about that concept is they discovered that safes, you know, safes that have a dial, 100 numbers around, there are 3, I forget the term for the discs that are behind there that have gates prepped in them, but they found over time that a safe installed in a ship will, over time, magically get to a point where you can just go up and pull the handle on the safe open. The circular safe style tumbler is not unlike this, actually, in the sense that it's circular, but in it will have a cut called the gate. Well, the unit is, if you were to vibrate it enough, the area where the gate is where it's lightest, and that will therefore end up at the top because the heavy part shifts to the bottom. So they found that all the gates in the perimeter of the, whatever the part is called, in the padlock, I just forget what that's called, they will always align towards the top. So that's a thing, actually. So I'm putting this back together correctly and according to the installations this time. Okay. Like I said, it always ends up being done incorrectly the first time. Now it's in the correct position for what we want. I'm going to let that sit there. I'm going to get this installed a little bit tighter. Boy, I'm really not thrilled with how this goes together. It's a bit of a hassle. Got it in the right position. I'm just holding it together at this point. Yeah, okay. Obviously, with time, I would get faster at it. But just, boy, I don't love how cantankerous that is. Okay, the screw is tight. The cam is in the right position. Now it won't move because I just rotated the cam driver to the right location. Now, at this point, let's just say that we're in the, let's just say the locked position. I rotate.
This is all on our website. You can
here.
Put it in your cart and then see what the shipping charge would
Okay.
be.
In the locked position. So the bottom line is this. Based on this application, I have probably what's called a right-hand drawer, I think is what this one's called.
We don't have any
Keys out, tailpiece is vertical, doesn't move. Key goes in, I rotate it clockwise. Okay, I've turned the key 180 degrees. Obviously I can't pull it out. Here, key pull position, I've turned it 90, the tailpiece will move, I can't pull it out. I turn it to 180, key won't come out. I go 360 degrees, now it's in the locked position, the secured position, and I can pull the key out. So this is a long-winded demonstration as to how you produce a non-key retaining installation. I don't like the amount of slop that's back here. Admittedly, if I was doing this job, there's no parts left. Admittedly, I might come up with, if I was doing this job, I am definitely not satisfied with that amount of slop that's on that cam. It works, it's not going to fall out, but I would be looking for a really, really thin shim, because it's as tight as it'll go. Oh no, it's not. You son of a gun. Yeah, well, it is now, but it's still got some play in it. Won't go any tighter. Is it okay? It probably is. I don't think you're going to find a lock washer incredibly thin. I might investigate that. This works, obviously, but it's not ideal as far as me. We're good. Locked and unlocked position. That's how you turn this into a non-key retaining installation. A key retaining is going to have a separate cam. Obviously, the client just picked the wrong one out of the box first, just like I set it up incorrectly the first time I tried. Anyway, any questions on anything Olympus related, please feel free. I'm going to switch back to the screen view just to show you the other resources and make any final commentary. Okay, so nothing a little experimentation won't allow you to fully understand the work. So I just installed mine as a left-hand door or drawer. Everything worked perfectly. Again, a little bit of slop on the cam, but such is life. The other documents that are here, catalog page for this lock, nice to be able to see. That's just out of the full line catalog. This is the cam, the 720-3-2 that was in the package, the bottom style pin. So right there may include either the mid pin or the bottom pin style. There you go. What's nice about this catalog page and the layout or the format of all things Olympus related in their catalog is the logic by which they put it together, the specs, keying information, what it includes, optional items, dimensions, a table that shows what is available. And regardless of what lock you're looking for, they're going to be laid out this way. So it's a phenomenal catalog because it's laid out so well. Data sheet, same information. Yeah, left hand door, hinges on the left, it swings towards you. They're assuming that those doors always swing out. Accessories, that's probably off the cut sheet. Shows you a little bit more information about it. Obviously collars for the work. Cam assembly, we went over that. Installation instructions, probably the same stuff. Within a certain degree it is, but yes. Actually, this would be a little bit easier to look at. The 720 CD-LM. Okay, really handy. Cylinder installation instructions. Okay, shows you how to put the core, not the cylinder, but the core into the housing. That's the proper way. Small format is a slight 15-degree clockwise rotation to pull the control lug, or what they call locking bar, back in so it looks like that. No control key, no inserting or removing of a core. Specifications, if you are writing a construction document and want to clearly convey what you need, you'd refer to that. SW-1 product information. Okay, this is obviously something to do with turning this into a key switch. Double pull, double throw is what it looks like to me. Yeah, can be configured for 1 or 2 switches. So 2 commons, 2 normally opens, 2 normally closed. There you go. So you can add that to the back of these. That's handy. I've seen something like that installed governing the controller or the operator for overhead doors in a big box store. Okay, that's all that we have to say, except the link here. And you click on that, you'll be able to review not only all of the common Olympus items we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to that full product catalog. I would definitely recommend to dive into it if you're looking for high-quality cam locks. As you can see, the layout, as I scroll through pages, is all the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.